weld these gussets in to just give it a little more strength on the top row. Normally, if you want a strong weld, you don't weld vertical down, you try to go sideways or up, but these cross pieces here aren't going to be holding too much weight each one. You got a lot of weld on them for no more than they're going to hold. And this is thin tube here, so just go across the bottom and spot across on this joint, otherwise it'll burn right through it. Yeah, it did seal it up. Can't get the cord in too much of a kinker. It doesn't push wire like it should, and it's hard to make consistent weld if it's not a constant wire feed. And you gotta look it over and make sure you got everything, because there's a lot of freaking joints on this structure. And then I gotta tack some gussets in on this side now. I gotta find those. Alright, as you can see, we got it all welded up here. All the framework's built and whatnot, and this is how it's standing up, how it's gonna hang in the restaurant. Gonna have 3 shelves. This will bolt up to the top of the ceiling, and then gonna have shelf here, and shelf here, like those do over there. Dad was working on making the transition piece there, because these things actually make kind of a Z shape. So that's what he was doing over there. But anyway, welding these little cross pieces in for putting the is just to help hold the expanded metal up. Got it divided up 3 equal sections. Come in here and you end up with little stuff like this all the time, little jigs just to help you hold pieces of metal in place. Clamp that on and then make sure there's no BBs. And lay that in there like that. Lay that one on there like that. And then we're putting the seam up because this is going to be about head level, be at least 6 foot off the ground. And so you don't want to see this seam, since they're just going to clear coat it and not paint the thing. That's what they wanted, to just, they didn't want it painted, they just wanted to clear coat it so it didn't rust, but that's contractor's responsibility. And sometimes it's a little snug if the metal warps just a little bit. I laid this extra piece of quarter-inch flat on here to set it up so that it sets this piece of inch right in the middle of the 1.5 inch tube. And get that lined up the line there. Yeah, we're not quite lined up. Take persuader. That square there. Still square. I'll come back and spray these down and weld them up then once I get everything tacked in. Probably do this level and this level, and then I'll set it on the floor and do the last level. Move that over there. And tomorrow or Monday, whenever we get done here with the putting these in, we weld some little 1/2 inch angles in here, but I can't remember, maybe I talked about that earlier. And you flip these things over, and that's what that 3/4 square is for. What happened to the chisel? Get these BBs off of here and I'll spray them, because you sure don't want to have BBs laying on that, messing up the measurements and whatnot. So just spray the flat down good here, and once again the seam is up. Looks pretty lined up there, but I know this one ain't. Skosh more. Square as it's gonna get. Make sure both those are laying down. You always kind of want to hold down on it a little bit, especially if it's loose. But yeah, check that in case that weld sucked it over. Still good. And that's how you install those. So alright, here, I'll weld these in. Only welding 2 down because that's plenty for just holding the wire, and then we lay the wire on top of them up in their spot weld right there. That'll hold the wire in this. That side. Secret to being fast at welding is, well, once you got the welder set good, but if you can get a system down on this repetitive stuff, instead of jumping all over the place, if you can, just boom, 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 do them in a row and then come back and do some more, and try not to lay on what you just welded. That doesn't feel very good. And I just said that and I got talking and I forgot the first one here. That's another thing you gotta forget. Can't forget the weld. Okay. These all welded. there's that. Now onto the little angle iron and the wire. Already getting ready to weld some angle in here. Got it sitting on a 1/2 inch tube. 2 inches tall tube is what we're going up against right here. It's 2 inches this way. So then it's 1/2 inch angle, and we got a piece of 1/2 inch square. So you set that on there like that, and like that. And then that sets it down 1/4 inch from the top of the tube, and we'll lay the meshing on top of that, the expanded metal. And that'll set it down just slightly in that from the top, and that way there's no sharp edges sticking up above this tube. What'll happen here is I'm just tacking this angle in here, and then when we lay the expanded metal over the top, it'll almost come to the edge right here, and then I take and put a good hot tack down and burn the expanded metal, the angle, and that tube all into one tack, and that holds it real well that way. But you'll see that here in a minute when I get the rest of these welded in this top layer. Dad's taking and notching the corners out of these so that they fit around the welds. That's that. Alright, here's how we weld this expanded metal in. Generally start in the center on one of these rows here and hold down on it. Put a spot weld right in the middle. Then I move out. Another spot weld up the edge. Luckily, when you weld and it cools down, it actually sucks together a little bit, and so it almost stretches this just a little bit and tightens it up, which is nice because you want it to be tight. That's kind of like torquing a cylinder head down too. You just start on the outside and or start on the inside and work your way out, trying to make it tight, and kind of stretch it out as you're going. You know, you just start in the center and work out. And I'm still just holding down on it wherever I go here. And you can see there I'm burning the tube, the angle, and the expanded metal all together. And then sometimes they get on a little bit of a weld bead and they're a little higher. In the corner, you gotta go in here, take the rounded part of the hammer, and it just bends that one up just a little bit so that it doesn't raise the rest of the piece of metal up. Pretty easy to lean over on a hot weld on this stuff. And that really tightens it up. Still got a lot of flexing, and that really pulls it tight. And then I do the same again, go along the back row here. That wire burns away so easy, you kind of got to be careful. If that puddle of hot metal just flows over to it at all, it makes it it merges into it real well and sticks to it. Come on. Come on, join together there. There we go. So, we got no gas problem. Yeah, we got gas. You get a lot of BBs there in the middle of it, and it can't let the gas flow out real well. There we go. There we go.